Is there a bad time to send marketing emails? Hey, what's up? I'm Mark Scott. Thanks for checking out another voiceover tip. You know what to do if you never want to miss one of these tips again. Like and subscribe to the channel. You're always going to get notified when a new tip gets posted, and that means that you are never going to miss out on the actionable, practical advice that is offered on this channel. Free advice to help you grow your voiceover business. A question I get asked a lot is there a bad time to send a marketing email? Is there a wrong time? Like, if I send my marketing emails on this day or at this time, am I going to hurt my chances of producing results? Well, a lot of people know me for the hashtag send the dang email. A lot of people also know that I often say that any email that is sent has a better chance at producing results than the one that's not sent, which stands to reason. But even with those things that are associated with me on trying to encourage voice actors to send marketing emails, I do think that there are a couple of times when maybe it's not such a good idea. So the first one, I think you have to pay attention to time zones. I don't know about you, but most nights I put my phone into Do Not Disturb so that while I'm sleeping, I'm not getting notifications. I don't need my phone pinging or buzzing all throughout the night. That would drive me nuts. I'd never be able to sleep. But every once in a while I forget. And do you want to know what's really frustrating? When that email lands in my inbox at 2:30 in the morning that causes my phone to vibrate and wakes me up because I forgot to put it into Do Not Disturb. How do you think I feel about that person that sent me an email at 2:30 in the morning? They are not my friend at that point in time. I find it incredibly frustrating. So if I know that that's how I feel, odds are that's how other people feel as well. So I don't ever want to be that guy. I don't want to be the one that wakes up a potential lead at 2 o'clock in the morning because I wasn't paying attention. So I think that it is absolutely essential that you are always looking at what time you are sending your marketing emails, not specifically where you are, but where they are. If you're working later on in the afternoon, or maybe you're working early in the evening, maybe this is something that you do after a day job, you start sending out emails, but you're sending them overseas, you could hit somebody in the middle of the night, and you don't want to do it. On the reverse of that, maybe you're somebody who likes to get up really early and send your marketing emails at 7 o'clock in the morning because you do it before you go to work, or you just like to get it out of the way. It's the first thing that you do in the morning. That's great, but then on the West Coast, your email just pinged the inbox at 4 a.m., an hour before the person was going to get up, and now they don't like you very much because you woke them up at 4 a.m. So I do think that you need to be very cognizant of the time zones of the recipient and pay attention to that. And you can do that in several different ways. I use the world clock feature on my watch, or rather on my iPhone and on my iMac. And I also will ask Siri sometimes what time it is in a particular city or a particular country. So there are ways to work around it. So that's scenario number one. I do think you've got to pay attention to time zones. Scenario number two, don't send emails on weekends. Now, I know for a lot of voice actors, sometimes weekends are the only time that they have to do this, especially if you have a day job. Maybe you're still working towards becoming a full-time voice actor, or maybe you're just really busy during the week sometimes, and between doing voiceover and trying to take care of kids and managing a house and doing all of the different things that are going on, fixing the stairs, whatever it is, sometimes the only chance you've got is when you sit down for a couple hours on a Saturday and you want to send some emails. Should you do it? Well, if you go by the send the dang email theory, or if you go by the any email sent is better than an email not sent theory, you're probably thinking, yes, I should do it. Well, hold on a second. That's another one of those times where I personally am going to avoid it. I know how I feel about getting emails on a weekend. I'm at a point in my life and in my career where my weekends are really, I try to keep them as much as possible for family time. I want to be able to spend time with my wife and my kids. That's when I like to do things around the house. That's when I'm going to mow the lawn. That's when I'm going to work on a renovation project that I haven't got done yet or whatever. The weekends, I like to try to consider my time as much as possible. Now, does that mean that sometimes I never do work on weekends? Of course I do work on weekends. Sometimes a client sends a job, it's got to get done. I get it done. No big deal. But I'm not doing marketing on the weekends because I don't want to interrupt somebody's family time. If they are out for dinner with their family, if they've gone to do fun things with their family, if they're just sleeping on the couch because it's Saturday afternoon and they just want to take a nap, right in the middle of the good spot in the movie, I don't want to be the one that pings their inbox. So I am not sending emails on weekends as much as I can possibly avoid it. If I'm communicating with a client, different story. But as far as marketing emails are concerned, they are not going out on a weekend, not from me. So I would say, one, pay attention to time zones. Make sure you're sending it at an appropriate time for the recipient. Two, try to avoid weekends as much as possible. What does that leave you with? It means using things like schedule send. Gmail, for example, allows you to do a scheduled send. So you could set the email to go out at a specific time. And that is a feature that I use all the time. If you don't have the ability to do a specific schedule send, go ahead, sit down, write all your emails, save them in a draft folder, and then just mark a 5-minute or 10-minute block in your calendar when the time is appropriate, Monday morning, 11 o'clock, whatever it is, and then go through and hit send on all of those emails that are in your draft folder. So you can still work after hours. You can still work on weekends if you want to. You can still write all of those emails in times when it may not be appropriate to send. Just make sure that you're hanging on to them so that you send them at the appropriate time, because I think that's going to give you an even greater chance at getting the response and the opportunity that you're seeking.